As you sit there, hearing these words, noticing some part of you, it's already beginning to absorb what it feels like to begin knowing something you always knew, but hadn't yet realized. You see, every belief you ever had was learned. And what's learned can be relearned, reformed, reshaped, like clay in warm, ready hands. And today that clay becomes gold. Today a new operating system installs itself, naturally, powerfully. You begin to remember what it feels like to move through the world with unshakable knowing, backed by the breath of giants, because someone once forgot they were powerful, but remembered the moment they stood a little taller, the moment their spine aligned with truth, and something clicked. Posture changes perception, and perception changes possibility, and possibility opens doors, once called walls. Because when you hold yourself like you matter, the world mirrors back a version of you that does. And then eye contact like lightning, a voice like thunder in spring. You're the calm in every storm, and the storm when you must be. You communicate with presence, not with words, but with certainty shaped in syllables. And some people don't realize they're leaders until others start following. Not because they said the right thing, because their frame was stronger, because they believed more fully, because they acted without hesitation, because they asked one simple question: what if I didn't doubt myself anymore? What happens when you begin to act like the world is rooting for you? Because it is. When your thoughts align with growth, and your language dances in the rhythm of I will, doors begin to move, the path begins to fold towards you. And you remember, action is the prayer the universe always answers. Now imagine a version of you who already succeeded, who already spoke, and the room listened, who already failed forward, stood taller, laughed louder, learned faster, and led anyway. Because confidence is not a gift, it's a decision. And leadership is not earned by perfection, it's earned by walking anyway. So go ahead, act as if you already knew what to do. Because that part of you does. The one that handled chaos before. The one that saw problems and grinned. Because every challenge carries its solution on its back. Like a snail carrying its shell, like you carrying your power. And someone once wondered how to build resilience. So I told them a story. A flame in a storm doesn't flicker. When it becomes the storm, and you already are the wind, the spark, the fuel. Resilience is returning to who you are, after forgetting for a moment. Every setback a stepping stone, every no a lesson in navigation, every challenge an invitation to meet yourself more deeply. Now let's talk about language, because language shapes reality, and reality is, after all, just suggestion accepted as truth. So say this: I can, I will, I am. Let those three become your breath. Let your voice echo with certainty. Let your words become the brush, and your world the canvas. Speak like the future is listening, because it is. Let's go deeper. Someone once asked, how do I influence others? And I said, you begin by influencing yourself, because self-approval radiates louder than 1,000 compliments. When you laugh authentically, others feel safer. When you listen like it matters, others open. When you walk in truth, others follow, not because you asked, but because you led with presence. The body becomes an anchor, the breath a switch, the moment a portal. Because deep breathing isn't just calming, it's commanding. Try this. Breathe as if your future depends on it, because it does. Each inhale, power. Each exhale, purpose. They say beliefs shape reality. So install this one now. You're always growing. You're always evolving, and failure, that's just feedback in disguise. Mistaken identity wearing the mask of a mentor. Everything you've done has led to this moment, and the only permission you need is the one you give yourself. Now somewhere deep inside, you might begin to feel something shifting, not loud, not sudden, but steady, like a river carving a canyon, not with force, but with consistency. You don't need perfection, you need momentum. Tiny winds build towers, small steps start revolutions, and even the mightiest tree began with a seed that said, break the ground, grow anyway. So you can notice the confident walk without waiting, the resilient rise without permission, the magnetic attract by being real, the inspired influence through play, and the bold shape their world, one powerful frame at a time. And just for a moment, pretend this wasn't a script. Pretend this was you remembering who you've always been, because it is, and you are, and it's time. Now breathe, stand, speak, lead. And as you move forward from here, remember, you're already becoming everything you're meant to be, and that changes everything.